everybody, hope you're doing well today. Marc G with you back with another video, and I am back with a video which I am going to class as part 2 of a series that I'm going to make. Part 1 was my response to Jürgen Aumann's video talking about his favourite noise records releases, and I absolutely loved it. Made my own response video to that. Love the nostalgia surrounding it, and it just got me thinking about all the sort of labels and all the bands that I've fallen in love with over the years, and the way that labels were a real hallmark of great music back in the day. So I thought this is a great idea for a series. There's a lot of good labels out there, there's a lot of good bands on those good labels, and me being the age I am, I kind of love that nostalgia trip, love going back, and anything that makes me feel like a young man again, I'm all for. So I'm going to show you some albums today from another label, and this label is Century Media over in Germany, originally from Dortmund in Germany, and this label has played a big part in my life. As I'm sure most of you know, my band was signed to Century Media. I'm not going to show that in this one. I'm just going to show you my favourite albums. But like I say, they're all from the 90s. I know Century Media is still going now, and there's been some brilliant releases recently on Century Media. Frozen Soul, Beast, however you say it, from Denmark. I released a great set of albums, but I'm going to show you the albums that Century Media put out back in the early 90s, and that really influenced and inspired me as a young musician. And like I say, I'm going to make this into a series. I'm really looking forward to it, because like I say, anything to do with the nostalgia surrounding the music, I'm all for. So, and what's playing in the background from 91, we've got Sweden's Grave and their Into the Grave release. Superb old school Swedish death metal at its finest, really murky, in your face, brutal death metal. I mean, you can hear it playing in the background. One of the big four coming out of Sweden: Grave, Unleashed, Entombed and Dismember. And Century Media had 2 of those bands on their label. This is from 91 again. Yeah, Unleashed's debut, Where No Life Dwells. Just a brilliant album. Unleashed were a little bit different to the other 3 Swedish bands. Unleashed had slightly different sound, but they had a different way that the sort of their riffs were. Their sound was very, I don't know if the word's methodical, or very structured, very precise and very organised. And they went on actually to sort of be more of a, what they call a Viking metal band, than they did a death metal band. But yeah, excellent logo that, and it's one of the best in death metal. Unleashing their debut, Where No Life Dwells. I have also got Across the Open Sea. Not one of my favourite Unleashed albums by any means, but I've got it on cassette, and I kind of wanted to show you just some of the different formats. Now, I have thought about this, that maybe there's meat in making videos where I show my entire collections from these labels, but I do feel like that would be very time consuming. Maybe I would have to make that in sort of several parts. So kind of what I want to do with these videos really is just show you some of my favourites and keep the video to a decent length anyway. But yeah, this is a little bit more where they were going more down that Viking metal route. This is their 3rd album, Across the Open Sea. It's got a cover version of Breaking the Law by Judas Priest, and Oh, it's awful. It's so bad. Musically, it's great, but you know, Johnny's vocals. You've got to be a good singer to be doing a Judas Priest cover, haven't you? But besides that, it's a decent album. That. Right, who else have we got? We've got a German band here, the Mighty Morgoth. This is their first 2 EPs, Resurrection Absurd and The Eternal Fall, from, I want to say 91 again. Don't even have a year on there. No, 1990. Yeah, from 1990. Superb, aggressive, in-your-face death metal. Just brilliant, brilliant. That's the cover of Resurrection Absurd. I don't, unfortunately, have any of these older 90s releases on vinyl. I would like them, but they cost a pretty penny these days. That was followed up by this album, Cursed, an absolute monster of an album, one of my favourites of all time, let alone on Century Media. This was from 91, just a brilliant, brilliant album. Soul Baptism, Body Count, Unreal Imagination, just a brilliant, brilliant album. They were very much this album was definitely an influence on Enchantment's album, the way they had that sort of digga 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 sort of guitar style, and it almost had elements of death, early death you can hear in this band for sure. Again, that sort of preciseness, you know, and Marc G's vocals, quite reminiscent of Evil Chuck. What else have we got? I'll show you another cassette, and this is their album Odium, their 3rd album. This is where they sort of changed style ever so slightly. I always enjoyed this album, but it was definitely a different style for them. They were going more down that sort of industrial gothic route, but still a good album. Got a sticker of that album cover as well from back in the day that Century Media gave to me. When we went over to Germany to do some sort of press, and when we first got signed, they gave us a few CDs and a few bits and t-shirts and stickers and things like that. What else we got? Let me show you these. These are another 2 Grave albums. Their 2nd album, You'll Never See. Absolutely love this album. It's slightly changed from the more brutal approach you can hear on their debut in the background, where they're going down a more mid-tempo, still a savage album, but they were certainly heading towards the sort of more the soulless side of things. And I got given this by the record label as well, which is their EP, And Here I Die Satisfied. A nice piece, that from 1993. Love Grave, absolutely love them. What else have we got? Another classic, Tiamat and Clouds. This is from 91, I want to say as well. No, 92. This is a very groundbreaking album, I would say, if that's the right word, but this was where Death Doom was getting even more gothic. It was getting even more mellower, even they were toning everything down, and this was a huge album. I absolutely loved it. In fact, I'll attach a picture into this video, but the original artwork for this, when I went over to stay at when we went over to do the press, like I say, in Germany, over in Dortmund, we stayed at Robert Kampf's house in his flat while we were there, and the original painting for that was in his flat, the big canvas, and I took a picture of myself with it. But yeah, fabulous album, really, you know, really groundbreaking. And like I say, it was mellowing out. It was when that Death Doom style was certainly mellowing out, and their next album, Wild Honey, took it to another level. But yeah, Tiamat Clouds from '92, a band I had the pleasure of seeing live back in the day. Demolition, Hammer, and their debut Tortured Existence. This isn't an OG, this is a repress, unfortunately. I don't know what happened to my OG copy of this, but I no longer have it, which upsets me enormously. Bit of dust on there, I don't like that. Yeah, fabulous death thrash, fast and furious. Just like the first track, 44 caliber brain surgery. That's what it is. It's just, in fact, it's face melting, like the cover art. Just brilliant. Never lets up. Really aggressive. Their second album, Epidemic of Violence, which I do own as well, is a great album. But this is, like I say, for the purpose of this video, I'm having to just show you a few. But this is a brilliant album. I forget who I saw them supporting. I'm sure it was Obituary. I want to say it was Obituary. I might be wrong, but yeah, they were so good. They were, you know, you were just blown away. You spent the entire gig with just the bass coming out of the speakers. It was just brilliant. What a great band. They're from America, Demolition Hammer, USA band, a band from Holland. Asphyx and their album The Rack, their debut from '91, I want to say, yeah, '91. Martin van Droonen had moved on from Pestilence, and this is his new band. And as you well know, with Martin van Droonen, he can do no wrong. Old school death metal hero, a legend. That was followed up in '92 by Last One on Earth, one of my favourite albums. And again, not just one of my favourite albums on Central Media, one of my favourite albums of all time. Just a brilliant album. There's the guys. I was lucky enough to meet these two guys out of Asphyx at the Central Media offices. I only briefly spoke to them, but I think they were there to do a bit of radio press stuff as well as us. But it was nice to meet him. Never got to meet Martin, but fabulous album. Old school, down-tuned, filthy, mid-tempo, just riff after riff after riff. Fabulous album. Let's show you a cassette. Oh, and a CD. Through the CD. Samael from Switzerland. Again, had the pleasure of meeting these guys, and spent a few hours smoking weed in Robert Camp's flat, listening to Nerve, one of their albums. Forget what it was called now. Cancer of Choice, something like that. Anyway, it was one of those albums that, when you think about the way sort of Samael's style went, they went very sort of industrial and gothic. But this album, I think it's their third release. Classed as black metal, but it's not. It's death metal. There's riffs in there. It's got that sort of satanic and occultist basis for it, but it's a death metal classic. Got that on cassette as well, OG cassette. Ceremony of Opposites, if I didn't say what it was called. Brilliant album. I am not really a massive fan of their newer material, the more sort of industrial gothic stuff. But they were a proper nice set of lads. You know, they were young like us, freshly signed to Century Media, and we had a good night listening to some industrial metal. Got a sticker for that as well. It's a nice piece of memorabilia there. Choose the Dark. Samael on tour with Morbid Angel, Cannibal Corpse, Unleashed and guests. Yeah, Century Media never got us any gigs as good as that. We did play some good gigs with some good bands, but that's a hell of a tour to be involved in, isn't it? Morbid Angel, Cannibal Corpse, Unleashed, and others. Another couple to show you. Oh, I'll show you this sticker as well, actually. This is the band Despair, and this was Robert Camp who founded and ran Century Media for many years before he sold it to Sony. This was his band, like a sort of death thrash death band. Unfortunately, I don't own anything by them. I did used to have one of their CDs, Decay of Humanity, I want to say it was called, but alas, I no longer own that. But yeah, it's a nice little sticker. And the last band I'm going to show you a couple of their albums. This is a Finnish band. This is their second album, North From Here, and this is Sentenced. Absolutely fucking marvellous record, this. Sentenced went on to be more of a straight up heavy metal sort of rock band, I suppose, but the first album's out and out death metal. This is a promo copy that Century Media gave me, but this is fabulous album. It's very it's technical death, not tech death, it's technical death metal. Very much kind of got that atheist sort of sound, a bit of death even maybe in there. Just a fabulous record though. I still need to get their debut, Shadows from the Past. And I also love this. This is more when they were going down that more heavy metal. This is like, how to explain it, going from that album, which is out and out sort of death metal, technical death metal, progressive death metal. This album, and features the same band, if I remember rightly. What year is that? 95, is it? 95, yeah. This is like Iron Maiden with death metal vocals. It's a real strange mix, but you know, it's fantastic. I absolutely love this. If you want to just hear an album with some real feel good, it's not upbeat and melodic, but the riffs are just real feel good riffs. Sentenced and Amok. That's it. Like I say, I wanted to keep these videos fairly short, and again, like I say, I kind of want to make a series of this and show you them. So I can't show you everything. Like I say, I said it earlier in the video, if you are interested in maybe seeing my entire collection of noise records or Century Media, I'm sure you're not, but this is kind of a quick sort of synopsis of my favourite albums on there. And it's nice to pull out the OG copies and show them off, let you people see them. But as always, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for watching, and until I am back with another video, take care, speak to you soon, bye for now.